Hello and welcome to Loud Creations. Today I am making a holiday mead for December, and I'm hoping it'll be ready for the holiday next year. And what it is peppermint mead or candy cane mead. Although I don't think I'm going to be putting any candy canes in here. So let's get into it. I'll go ahead and tell you what the ingredients are. So for this recipe, I used peppermint tea, D47 yeast, which has about a 14% alcohol tolerance, give or take. I used Go Firm, 3 pounds of raw honey, and some chopped raisins, about a handful. So, and here is finished product. I actually just made this and it's still warm. Anyway. I'm really excited about this one. I'm excited about every single one of them. What am I talking about? Anyway, for this one, how I made this, I went ahead and I boiled, I want to say 2/3 of a gallon of water. And once that was boiling, I added 10 of these peppermint tea bags that I have. And the directions for those said that's 1 tea bag for 2 cups of tea. So my thinking was, okay, there's about 16 cups, right? 16 cups in a gallon? Okay, I verified because I always question myself. But anyway, there's 16 cups in a gallon. I wanted to have a strong peppermint flavor, so I added 10 tea bags. So I added a couple extra ones. We'll see how that worked out. It's very fragrant. I hope the flavor sticks around through fermentation. If not, or if it's not quite strong enough where I want it, I do have peppermint oil that I will be adding before I bottle, if need be. Once the water was boiling, I added those 10 tea bags and I covered it up and let that steep for about 10 minutes. And while that was going on, I went ahead and chopped up my raisins and put them in a little bowl to add to the mead later. Came back to, that didn't really take me 10 minutes, but anyway, so once the tea was ready, I went ahead and I tried to squeeze out the tea bags a little bit, which was kind of difficult with the large spoon I had, but I took the tea bags out and went ahead and added my honey directly into the hot tea water. And I say 3 pounds, but I didn't get every drip of honey out of there, so it might be a little less than 3 pounds that went in. I went ahead and added that in, stirred it up until the honey was fully dissolved, and then I took a little bit out for my Go Firm and put a half a teaspoon of Go Firm into the honey tea liquid. Set that aside for about 15 minutes, and then I went ahead and threw my raisins into my 1 gallon carboy. And I did it again where I poured them through a funnel and they got stuck in the funnel. I poured my tea honey mixture over it to see if that would loosen up those raisins. And eventually it did. I was able to get all of the liquid in there. And this is really a simple recipe. So basically tea, honey, added some raisins, shook up the carboy really well to add in some oxygen and set up that environment. The tea was really hot, so I went ahead and put the carboy into a bucket with some ice water to cool it off quicker because I only had a little bit of time to make this mead. So I did that and that worked just fine. And while that was cooling off, I went ahead and added some cool water to my Go Firm slurry so that it was hospitable for the yeast because you want it to be about body temperature. I went ahead and cooled that down with some cool water and added my D47 yeast and set that aside to let those guys wake up so they're not in shock when they end up in the carboy. Shook it up some more, waited for it to cool. Once it was cool, I went ahead and added my yeast slurry. I have such a difficult time saying that. Yeast slurry. So I added the yeast slurry to the carboy and shook it up again. Got myself a gravity reading. It was 1.11 was the original gravity for this. So I'm going to let this ferment out all the way. That will amount to about a 14% mead. I'm hoping to back sweeten, and hopefully it won't ferment much beyond that. If it does, then it'll be a stronger mead, but I'm just gonna back sweeten and then let it sit in secondary for a really long time. And that's the plan. So here it is. It's still warm, and this is going in my closet, and I will be step feeding it with Fermade O, doing a 1/4 teaspoon the first 3 days, and then around the 7th day doing another 1/4 teaspoon. And we'll see how this turns out. Since we're using an herb, although there's nothing in this book about peppermint, but I have it displayed anyway. I actually wanted to pull up an article from UC, University of California Health. And this article here lists off the medicinal value of peppermint. I've always known that, it helps with upset stomach. It's also good for congestion, I believe. But I opened this up, and there's even more. So not only is this festive and hopefully, in that winter solstice, Christmas, holiday season spirit, it also can have some medicinal value, which I think is great. It's good for the common cold because the menthol and the peppermint works to help as a decongestant, to help with mucus, not only up in the sinus area, but down in the lungs. Again, it's good for nausea and indigestion. Apparently helps with IBS too, and this is according to UC Health. You can also use it, you can make a salve out of it for your sore muscles. Peppermint is also believed to help prevent sickness because it has some antiviral properties as well. So in addition to being a flavor for candy and some really good ice cream, peppermint ice cream is really good, I have to say. Yeah, peppermint ice cream is one of my favorites. I just made some the other night. So anyway, we're just expanding on our use of peppermint here. I will be, what am I saying now? I do all these videos on the fly, so sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying. This mead is going to be going into the closet. I'll be feeding it and then checking up on it in a couple weeks and racking it, putting it into secondary. And I'm going to sweeten it to taste, so I'm going to add some honey at that point. And then I'm just going to let it age. Probably let it age in the carboy for several months before I do anything else with it. Which seems to be a better strategy for me. I have a bunch of carboys, so I might as well use them all at the same time and let things age there. Yeah. So there it is, peppermint mead. I hope everybody has a good holiday season, and I hope this video was useful as well. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.